Good afternoon, you guys. Today is Tuesday, January 18th. It's a little bit later in the day. I think it's right around 1:20. I have not filmed since last Thursday. It's been a couple days. The last few days have just been super busy. I actually wanted to film yesterday because I was making a new recipe, but I just did not have time. I was rushed all day, so I didn't make a video, but I'm filming today and I have something super exciting that I want to share with you guys. It is a recipe that I tried last Thursday and I'm obsessed. It's so good. Seriously, I told Michael, one, I impressed myself with this, and two, best thing I have ever baked. Like, delicious. Let's see here. It hasn't even been a week. We've already eaten all of them and Michael's asking for more. So today we're gonna be making English muffins. Super simple, super easy. I will link the recipe down below. I just Googled English muffin recipe and this was one of the first ones and it's the one I'm gonna keep. So I'll link it down below. I'm gonna set out my ingredients really quick just to show you guys what we're gonna be using, and then we're gonna put it together really quick and I'll show you guys how to make homemade English muffins. Here are all of the ingredients that you're gonna need for this recipe. Super simple, only 9 ingredients. We have semolina or cornmeal. You can use either. I'm using semolina today. Flour, sugar, salt, milk, water, butter, egg, and yeast. That's it. So let me set you guys up on the tripod and we're gonna put this dough together. So the first step for this English muffin is you wanna take your milk, water, and sugar. So you're just going to mix the sugar into your milk, and then we're gonna put this on the stove top and heat it up. You don't want it too hot or it will kill your yeast. I just always stick my pinky in, and if it's warm to the touch, then I call it good. So I'm gonna heat this up real quick. All right, so my milk is nice and warm. The next step is I'm going to add some instant yeast, just 1 packet. Then we're just gonna stir this up, and then we're gonna set this off to the side for about 5 to 10 minutes, just so that the yeast has some time to bloom. So while we wait for our yeast to bloom, the next step is we're gonna, in our stand mixer, we're going to add our flour and salt together. I just realized I used the wrong measuring cup. So let me dump this back and start over. All right, now we have the correct amount of flour in the stand mixer. We are going to add a teaspoon of salt. You know what, I just realized I haven't said any of these measurements. I am sorry about that, guys. I will definitely make sure to link it down below, or I can add it to the screen. I'll do one or the other. Real quick, my sandwich bread is done. Let me pull that out of the oven. So the next step is we are going to take 3 tablespoons of butter, and we're gonna melt that really quick on the stovetop. All right, so now that all of the ingredients are ready, we are gonna combine everything. So I have my 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 large egg, and then my milk, water, yeast, and sugar mixture. Then we're going to mix on medium-high speed for about 7 minutes. Okay, so the dough is done. As you guys can see, it's super elastic, and that's what you want. You want it to look smooth and elastic. It's a super soft dough. At first, the first time I made it, I thought, oh crap, I did not put enough flour in. This is not right. I'm so used to like regular bread dough. But what you're going to do is you're going to grease a small bowl, and you're going to place your dough in there, and then we're going to have it covered for the next about an hour. My house is pretty warm right now because I've been baking sandwich bread. So about an hour, but long as it's doubled, that's fine. Just kind of depends on your kitchen. I've had people comment before on how I get my bread to rise. I have 2 different ways that I do it. So if I'm not in the kitchen and there's no ovens on, then I just wrap this up and I place it in our living room next to our heater, and that works great. If I am baking, which I am right now, I'm just going to put plastic wrap on and I'm going to set it on top of the stovetop. The stovetop is not hot, but the oven's warm. And that's how I do it. That's how I get my breads to stay warm and rise. That's just my little trick. I know some people slightly preheat their oven and then turn it off, and that works for them. Guys, this dough is so sticky. I can't even get it out of the bowl. Okay, so I'm going to cover my dough with plastic wrap. You can cover it with a towel, whatever you want. I like plastic because then I can look down in there and see if it's rising. So yes, like I said, we're going to place this in a warm place. You're going to wait about an hour until it doubles. Okay guys, the dough is just about doubled in size, and so I'm going to get my baking pan ready. We're not actually going to bake the English muffins on this. This is just where they're going to sit while they do the second rise. What we're going to do is put some parchment paper out and then sprinkle a little semolina. I'm going to try to spread it around. That's good enough. So before we go and plop our dough on the cutting board, we need to make sure it's pretty floured. The dough is going to be pretty sticky. So my dough has definitely doubled. It's actually probably a little bigger. See how soft that dough is? So we're just going to plop that on. You're going to make sure your hands are nice and floured, and then we're just going to very softly make sure there's flowers on all sides. And then just very carefully pat this dough out. When you're patting the dough out, we're not looking for like a specific shape. We're more looking about the thickness of the dough. We want our dough about 1 inch thick. It's okay if it's not exactly 1 inch. So the next step is we are going to cut out our English muffins. You can use like a cookie cutter. I don't have one. I actually ordered some on Amazon and they were no good, so I need to return those. So I'm just going to use my cup again. You are going to flour your rim and punch out the English muffins. Once they're punched out, you're going to add it to your pan covered with semolina and continue. So once you've gotten your first round of English muffins out, you're going to reflour your surface. I did not flour my surface good enough. This is a very sticky dough. But you're just going to re-pat it out again and cut out some more English muffins. So when you're cutting out the English muffins, if they become misshapen, all you have to do is just kind of tuck it back into that circle shape and you're good to go. So your last one will be a little misshapen, but that's fine. Take the time to form it and cook it because it's good with butter, even if it's not pretty. All right, all the English muffins are formed. The next step is we are going to cover these with a towel for 1 more hour. All right, guys, so while the English muffins are on their last rise, the kids and I are going to do some reading. This week for Barrett's curriculum, the letter that he's learning about is P and the animal is penguin. So I went into Oakley's bookshelf because I knew I had a ton of books on penguins. So I picked a few out. We're going to read a little bit about penguins. I think we're going to draw some penguins. And then after the kids are done, I told them that they could watch the documentary movie March of the Penguins, which I hope Netflix has it. Or maybe Disney Plus has it. We'll watch some sort of like penguin documentary. So that will be their TV for today. So we're going to get all snuggly on the couch and read some penguin books.
Bye.
So these were the books that I picked off of Oakley's shelf. I have this Polar Animals Dictionary, 3 Cheers for Tacky, Tacky Locks and the 3 Bears, and then the last one is The Emperor's Egg. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna get all snuggled up and do some reading. Tacky Locks and the Three Bears. Those aren't even bears, those are penguins.
But they're dressed up as bears.
Says, in a nice icy land, something was happening. Alright guys, the hour is up. The English muffins are done with their second rise, and we are about to, I want to say bake them, but we're not baking them. We're cooking them on a cast iron. So I have a cast iron. I turned on the last 5 minutes of the rise on very low heat. You should be able to feel it when you put your hand out. You are going to sprinkle some semolina on the bottom. And then very carefully, you are going to add your English muffins. If you need to, you can reshape a little bit. For this size pan, I like adding 3 muffins. I did 4 last time and it was kind of hard to turn. So once you have your English muffins in, you are going to place a lid on and cook for 5 minutes on each side. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. We are going to take our lid off and check to see what these look like. They are perfect. So we are going to flip. How beautiful and golden that is. I can tell that my pan is actually a little too hot, so I'm just going to turn this down a tad and then place the lid on and set the timer again for another 5 minutes. All right, another 5 minutes is up, and I'm going to check the other side, and that's perfect. So you're just gonna move these off to the side to a plate or a cooling rack, whatever works best for you. Now you see how this semolina got a little toasted / burnt? You're gonna make sure that you take this out. So I'm just gonna wipe this out with a paper towel in the sink, add some new fresh semolina, and then continue the process with the rest of the raw English muffins. All right, they are all toasted up and ready to enjoy. I'm going to cut one of these open. I'm actually not going to cut it open. With fresh English muffins, you want to use a fork. And then the rest I'm just going to put in an airtight container, put it in the cupboard, and then we can eat these the next couple days for breakfast. Okay, so with fresh English muffins, like I said, you don't want to use a knife to open them. You're going to take a fork and just kind of poke it down inside, just around. And there you go. Put a little butter and jam and it's good to go. Okay guys, time got away from me. It is a lot later in the day than I thought it was. I was looking outside and I was like, why is it so dark? Because it's 4:45. I need to get dinner going. Tonight we are not doing anything special. I'm just going to make some chicken tacos. So really quick, I need to throw a few chicken thighs in the Instant Pot with some onions and peppers. I've showed you guys that recipe before, so I won't share it again. And then I'm going to make up some flour tortillas. So I'm gonna spend the next little bit getting dinner ready. I'll check in with you guys when it's dinner time. All right, guys, dinner is done. These homemade tortillas look delicious. I'm super excited to eat. The kids and I are gonna eat dinner really quick, and then I'll check in with you guys, let you know how they are. All right, guys, it is 7 o'clock, and I just finished up with my dinner. And those tortillas were like nothing I've ever had before. They were super, super good. We've bought the ones from Costco before, the Tortilla Land brand. They are like raw tortillas that you cook on the stovetop. Not even close to the ones that I just cooked. So good. I don't have a link for you guys because it was in a cookbook, but the next time that I make them, which I'm sure will be very soon, I'm thinking these would be delicious with breakfast burritos. I will film it and show you guys how to make it. Super simple. It was 3 ingredients. Took like 30 minutes and then a couple minutes to fry them up. So I'm super good, super happy with them. Never buying store-bought tortillas again. Michael did call to let me know that he is on his way home, which makes me very excited. I have not seen him since like 5 a.m. this morning. I'm gonna make his dinner here in a few minutes, get the kitchen cleaned up, and then just relax for the rest of the evening. So I think I'm gonna end the video for here today. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for tagging along, and we'll catch you on the next one.